Hello and welcome to our lesson on vectors and bearing. We are going to continue our lesson on addition and subtraction of vectors. The sum of two vectors represent the resultant of the two vectors. Example, the resultant of vectors AB and BC is AC, right? So usually the resultant vector is deduced. How to get a resultant vector? You just look at the beginning and the ending of the other vector, and that one is going to form the resultant vector. So for instance, if vector AB is equal to A, now vector AB is equal to a small letter a equal to x1, y1, and vector BC is equal to B, which is also equal to x2, y2. Then if I want to add them, A plus B is going to be equal to x1 plus x2. So that's why we have x1 plus x2, and then you add y1 plus y2. And the same way, if I'm subtracting A minus B, just like vector AB minus vector BC, we're just going to subtract x2 from x1. So that's why we have x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2. So let's take an example from this and see how it looks. So we say examples. Given that the vector A is equal to 3, negative 4, B is equal to 5, 6, and C equal to 5 and 7. Find number one, vector A plus vector B. So for instance, I have number 1. If I'm supposed to add vector A plus B, then I'm supposed this one, remember this is going to be my x1 and this is going to be my y1. When I come to the B, this is going to be my x2 and this is going to be my y2. Therefore, when I come here, I know my A. My A is 3, negative 4, plus 5 and 6, right? So if I'm to add these two, I'm just going to add x1, y1. So that's going to be parenthesis 3 plus 5. And then the bottom I have negative 4 plus 6, right? So what is 3 plus 5? I have 8. And then negative 4 plus 6, I have 2. So it tells me that the vector A plus B is going to be what? 8 and 2. So the same way, when I'm looking at number 2, I know that I have A minus B. And when we go to the top, let's look. We know our A is equal to what? 3, negative 4, and B is 5, 6. So when I go down, I know my A, remember my A is equal to 3, negative 4, and B is 5 and 6. Let me quickly go up for us to confirm. 5 and 6, right? So it says we have to subtract. So all what I need to do, I'm going to say A minus B is going to be equal to 3, negative 4, minus 5 and 6 here, right? So basically, I'm just going to subtract the top and then the bottom. So now I have 3 minus 5, and then I have negative 4 minus 6, right? So my A minus B is going to be equal to 3 minus 5. I have negative 2, and negative 4 minus 6 is going to be what? Negative 10, right? And that's your answer. But when we go to the bottom, let's see the third question. It says B and C. I already know my B is equal to 5 and 6, right? But then let me go by what was our C? Our C is 5, 7, right? I know my C 5, 7. So it says B plus C. So B plus C is going to be equal to 5, 6, plus 5 and 7 here, right? So my B plus C is now going to be 5 plus 5, and then 6 plus 7, right? So I'm going to continue from here. I know my B plus C is now going to be equal to 5 plus 5, I have my 10, and 6 plus my 7, I'm going to have 13, right? And that's it. So let's look at the last one. What does it say? It says A plus B. I know my A. We know our A is equal to 3, negative 4. Our B is equal to 5, 6. And our C is equal to 5 and 7, right? Let me double check. 5 and 7. 5, 7. Right? And we are supposed to add. So we know A plus B. So my A plus B minus C is going to be equal to my A. I have 3, negative 4, plus 5, 6, minus 5 and 7. Right? So when I want to continue, I'm just going to represent the whole of the 3 plus 5 minus 5. I have negative 4 plus 6 minus 7, right? And what am I going to have? I have 3 plus 5, I have 8. And 8 minus 5 is going to give me what? 3. So I have 3 here. And then negative 4 plus 6 is going to give me 2. Then 2 minus 7, I have negative 5. So it tells me that A plus B minus C is going to give you 3 and negative 5. Thank you so much. See you in the next lesson.